Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hope everybody had a good rest of your night. Ready for another good trading day. All right, so in other news, the markets are bouncing back a little bit from yesterday's pullback, which is kind of expected based on where the market had kind of pulled back to. We have a couple earnings reports going on today, so we'll take a look at Doge, and then, maybe OBSV and TCCO penny stocks will provide a decent day for some of us that like to trade them. Good morning, Coco Grace. Good to see you. It's been a while, I believe. Happy to see you. CLVS, please. Well, you did say please. You did say please, so I guess maybe I'll take a little gander. Write that down. Fran is on my watch list today. What did Fran do? Did it report earnings? I feel like they reported earnings, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But I did see they had a move this morning, but I'm pretty sure they reported earnings. Can't remember, though. But sure, I'll take a look in a sec. Yeah, I'm hoping to make some money today, too. That would be great. It's always a good feeling when you're making money. All right, so let's get started. We got 109 people that have come to watch me teach them how to bake cookies this morning. So let's get into it. Chocolate chip cookies. First, you roll the dough, you put it in the oven, and then you grab a bottle of whiskey and drink. That's what you do. All right, so we are going to look at Stitch Fix. First is SFIX. What is up, Super Snake? All right, so SFIX is kind of my first go-to stock to watch today. It's $28. It had an earnings report. They gapped up. They're holding just below like 28.20s, 28.50s. The high of pre-market's 28.25, 28.50. Now, it hasn't been able to break over. I will mention that on Thinkorswim or TD Ameritrade, at least for me, sometimes it's different from person to person, but right now the stock is hard to borrow, which means I can't short it, which means I can only play this long bias. So the only way to go about playing it long bias is basically going to be a break over the pre-market highs with the right formation and the right setup for a long play, or to try and catch a dip bounce if it turns into a short out of the gates. You could be looking for some sort of dip bounce off of probably any one of these pre-market levels that held up as support, right? So that's really the only way I'll be able to go about trading SFIX today. It's either going to be a bounce or it's going to be a breakout trade. Can't short it, so pretty much just going to be playing it by ear and watching it. So far this morning, right, it's held up. That's a good sign. So I do want to watch it for a long bias trade. And the thing about it is, since it reported, it's pushed up and it's held the highs of the pre-market pretty well. Right, we haven't rolled over yet. Granted, we still got like another 30, 40 minutes before the bell, so a lot can happen in that time frame. But so far, Stitch Fix not looking bad for a long play for me, I believe. Now, it's already made a good move today, and it's kind of hitting this 28 level, right? You see, like right here, we kind of rolled over. So this is kind of like a small short-term resistance. It's not super identifiable as a resistance for many. I see it as one. Now, with whatever I just said, that does give me a little bit of hope and optimism that we could still see this turn into a long play. So we'll see. All right. So that's Stitch Fix, SFIX. Now, there's a couple other earnings reports. They're just kind of lackluster volume right now that we're going to be keeping on a back burner. So I'm not going to do too much on these ones. I'm not going to go over them too much. Just really going to point them out. So you have MDB. Reported earnings today. That's a little bit higher price of about $140, right? So that one doesn't look terrible. Actually, it's arguably in like kind of a head and shoulders pattern. So if it can't get back up and over 140, 194 by the time the market opens and successfully hold over, let's just call it, if it can't get over 142 and hold over 142 successfully by the time market opens, this is probably going to be more of like a short, I would say. We'll see. Again, could also be wrong. So again, I'm going to play that one by ear. CONN is another earnings report. This one gapped down from 21 down to 14. Right now, there's not a whole lot of volume on this. Doesn't mean that it can't pick up in volume. It doesn't normally trade a lot of volume. So again, Since it's an earnings report day, it will normally see more volume than it would typically see on an average day. So we're still going to focus on this, but still kind of a back burner one because of the volume scenario. All right, next one on the list is also, what was it? Was it DB? DBI. Also reported earnings. This one's easy to borrow, so you can short this one. Again, same thing, kind of gap down from 17 to 13. Doesn't have a whole lot of volume, but because this is an earnings report, it will naturally see more volume than usual. So also going to be following this one. First, I'll be following DBI, I believe, short bias. Let me just double check. Yeah, I'll probably follow this more short bias at first before trying to be long bias. So those are kind of the couple earnings reports that I'll be following along with for the day. No guarantee that I'll trade them, but those are the ones that I'm keeping an eye on for right now. All right. Drunk cookies. I don't actually cook anything with whiskey. I just eat a lot of things with whiskey. Would you say stocks usually go up or down during the holidays? When during the holiday stocks go up and down, there's no, that I wouldn't even concern yourself with that. You know, what you just asked is so small on the realm of like things to worry about that I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, historically speaking, volatility tends to increase during like December. It does. You have Santa Rally. People call it the Santa Rally, and then stocks tend to get more volatile in December and through the winter. But again, it's no surprise. Again, stocks get more volatile through the whole winter season, right? And then obviously during December, kind of January, they can see more volatility, and that's based off of historical patterns that, during December and January, the markets tend to be more volatile. But that doesn't mean that it's going to that doesn't mean it has to happen again. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but it is something to be mindful of. But yeah, I mean, I don't think the market's going to crash this December. We're in December. I don't think we're going to crash. We probably, based on the way things are going, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised till it's 2020, 2021 at this point, because ultimately what's going on. So if you're going to talk about a market crash, you need the market to think it's going to crash. Like the markets just don't crash unless there's some type of underlying catastrophic event that finally surfaces and pops, which would be the bubble popping. Or you need enough of the market participants to truly feel the market's going to go down, and then everybody starts to panic sell, and then that can kind of kickstart the downturn. And we don't have that right now. Nobody thinks the market's going to correct, right? I don't even think it because nobody else thinks it. So, right, I want it to, in a sense. I don't actually want it to crash. I mean, it'd be nice because things will get a little cheaper, but at the end of the day, you never really want the market to go down because then your 401k gets smoked, people lose their jobs, you might make less money, I might make less money. So you really never want it to happen. The only reason you ever want it to happen is if you're like fully prepared for it to happen. And I don't even know if I'm fully prepared for something like that to happen on a scale of like 08, So, it's like, do you want it to happen? Yeah, you want it to happen because we're all kind of crazy fuckers and we want to watch the market just burn to hell and watch everyone panic because that's the human nature of things. We like to see chaos at the end of the day. But I don't really want it to happen. Now, in the sense of, do I believe it's going to? Yeah, I've believed that it's going to happen more so than the average investor in the market. That's just because of the way we've been going. At the end of the day, the market's not going to go down until pretty much everyone truly thinks it's going to go down, which by that would be too late. Because normally what happens is the market will start to take a turn before anybody. Pretty much the market always smokes people unexpectedly. When you least expect it, the market will kick your ass, right? So right now, nobody expects it, and nobody's expecting it to happen, at least within like a short time frame. So this is the thing, is the average investor, nobody thinks the market's going to go down anymore. Why? Because things are going swell, which everybody should know. I mean, if they're over the age of like 20, I would say, or even 18, that if you're over the age of 18, you've had enough life experience to know that when things are going good, that's when something bad's about to happen. But when things are going bad, I mean, things are already shitty as it can be. Really, the only thing you can look forward to is either it getting a little bit worse, but after that happens, I mean, you naturally should be going back to good times. So that's just the normal cycle of life in general. When things are good, bad's around the corner. When things are bad, normally good's around the corner, right? But for some reason, people throw logic out the window, right? Can you explain price volume divergence? We do not have the time to cover that question right now, but that is a good question. But I also do have a video on that, which you could watch. Can you explain price volume divergence? Sorry, I just read your question twice. When you say long, you're referring to all day long. No, when I'm saying long, I'm just referring to a move to the upside, not specific on time frame. Meaning I'm just looking for long bias formations and setups on that stock for that day. Does not mean that it has to be long all day. CPG, I've never heard of that one. Yeah, oh, you know what? I forgot to mention TCCO. That is going to be our main penny stock we're watching. Yeah, so it already moved. Yeah, we said to watch it long in our chat room, but yeah, anyways, this is going to be one of our main penny stocks to watch for the day. It still will be. It's unfortunate that it started moving pre-market because pre-market sucks. So anyways, you can still watch it, but the move's already happened, so it's unfortunate. The good thing that this does have going for it, though, is it is a 1 million share, 1.5 on FinViz. It could be a little bit different, but it's a low float stock, so it has the potential to move from $3 to $6. So this meets the identity of a penny stock that we as day traders would want to trade because it is a low float, so it can move mountains. And then it also only has 1.5 million shares outstanding, so it does also meet the secondary characteristic of a supernova stock with having a low outstanding share count. It didn't have a short float, really. So really, again, the only thing it has going for it is that it had some type of its earnings report. I believe the EPS is up about 400% year over year on the stock right now. So were able to increase their sales by about 400% year over year, which is phenomenal for a company to do in the first place. So sales good from year over year till now, low float, low outstanding shares. It had a great setup pre-market. In our private group, we're like, yeah, this is going to be the one to watch long today over OBSV. And then, of course, pre-market, it starts ripping as I'm doing this. So, that happens all the time. By the time I switch from 8:30 to get over here, a lot of times things will start moving pre-market, and I don't recognize them because I'm doing this stream. But, yep, TCCO, this is going to be the main penny stock to watch. Unfortunately, it already moved up. So now it becomes less of a good stock for me today. Again, the more it moves up pre-market, the less it becomes good. The more it moves up pre-market, the more likely it is to suck. But we'll be optimistic. Still a good move. We'll watch it. Okay. Yeah, anybody who has joined into our private group gets to see all the real-time trades. Not necessarily all of them, but yeah, we do trade live, and you get to see trades live. Any trade that I'm making that goes on the live broadcast, you'll see exactly when I enter and when I exit. But do also remember, just because I'm doing it live and I'm calling out exactly when I'm buying and exactly when I'm selling, does not mean that you're going to make money yourself. And that's another thing is that pretty much anytime you go into a trading group, whether it be mine, say if you're going into Ricky Gutierrez, Warrior Trading, pretty much any group that offers a live broadcasting room, the average beginner trader comes in with the completely wrong mindset of the way to use and utilize that room. Most of them look at it as, look at this guy, he can make money trading if he's doing it this way, and I follow those trades and I'm going to make money too, which is completely inaccurate because if you come into a trading room and you try to trade when I'm trading without knowing why I'm doing it, then you're most likely not going to succeed. So pretty much when anybody comes into our trading room, I always try to recommend, or anybody has questions when signing up with any of our products, I always say take the day trading course first, learn what it is that you need to be doing and why it is that we do what we do, and when we see things the way we see things, learn that so that when you do join the trading room and we're looking at trading something, you don't have to ask me why I like it and why it's setting up this way. You already kind of understand why it is I'm looking at that, so that should give you kind of the sense of why I might why I might be buying something or selling something. So that way you're not really just trying to follow it. You're understanding what it is you're trying to do alongside with me. And then also you get to learn and see tons of trades. And so it's more the learning side of it. And then after you've learned enough, then you can start to understand why the trades are being made. And it makes it easier for you to follow along with those trades. But if you come in right off the bat just trying to make money based on the way I trade, you'll most likely, you won't find success that way. Some people have, but again, it's always easier to do it if you kind of study the course or learn why it is we're doing what we're doing and then try to join in. Or if you're going to join the chat room, try not trading with us for the first couple weeks or first week or 2 weeks, see what it is that we do, see if you like what we do, and then make the decision from there on out. But again, that's just because I'm an honest, straightforward trader and I don't try to reel people into our trading room by saying, hey, look at all these trades, you can make all this money, because that's just realistically not the outcome and likelihood of Warrior Trading or Ricky Gutierrez or another trading group telling you the way it is probably isn't going to happen. They're just kind of try and push you on that sales that if you join this is kind of the likelihood that you're going to make money, but it's completely inaccurate. So if you come across that, just know it's bullshit. All right. Is there a place you recommend for seeing a list of all earnings and announcements? Yeah, so I like to use the Twitter feed from Earnings Whispers. Also, Webull. Webull's really good. I love Webull personally. I don't trade on them all that much. It's more or less just for like when I'm laying in bed and I want to look at something, I'll go onto Webull. Or if like I'm out at dinner and everybody that I'm with is super annoying and no fun to talk to because none of them know anything about finance or stocks and are talking about bullshit stories and small talk, then I'll go on my phone and look at like Webull or something cool. I like Webull for reasons like that. But Earnings Whispers or Webull has a really good kind of layout for looking at upcoming earnings for the day of or the week of. Can you... Yeah, that's also another thing too, right? Like a lot of you guys have been seeing videos and recap videos of me making more money these days, and that's because there's generally more volume, more follow through in the, winter season, December, January, February specifically. And so that's why you're seeing me make more money. And then as we go into more of a summer period, I probably won't be making as much money. My trades won't be as good because that's just normally what happens. So when summertime comes around again, I'll most likely be, for sure, not most likely, guaranteed, I will be decreasing my share size, and I will be, and also probably be more patient and just more kind of sitting on my hands, because after the years of trading and experience, I know that if I go into summer with the same mindset or the same way that I trade in the winter, I usually will start off by losing money for like the first couple weeks or like month, just like not having much consistency in the summer because it's kind of a different market. So I've done that a couple years in a row, and each year I've gotten better at realizing it quicker, right? And now going into this year, I think I finally reached the point where I'm not going to have to figure it out. I'm already going to know it before it happens so that way I can plan for it. So instead of going heavy share size and losing and not being as patient and kind of losing, I'm just going to already be ready with low share size, more patience going into the summer. That way I don't have to go, of course it's summer, you're an idiot. Why are you trading such heavy share size and not being so patient? The follow through isn't as good in the summer, you idiot, right? So I'm already going to be ready for that going into summer. Can you give some tips if price reaches resistance, if the breakout's going to be real or fake? So pretty much the best way I can explain is if you're ever trying to trade a breakout and it's the first attempt at breaking out, it's most likely not going to work. So really, more oftentimes than not, never try to do a breakout move if it's going to be your first attempt at breaking out. Only try the breakout move if it's second or third attempt or fourth attempt or fifth or sixth or seventh. Usually you're not going to get a fifth, sixth, seventh, or even a fourth. It'll probably happen second, third, fourth. You won't see 5, 6, 7. So pretty much first attempt, no. Second attempt, yes. Third attempt, yes. You can try a breakout. You'll have more success that way. Or if you're going to be buying a breakout on a first attempt move, at least watch it break out. And then more often times than not, when you go to buy a breakout, many times you're going to see a breakout over the breakout price level, and then you'll see like the next candle or like the second candle thereafter come back, pull back, and actually retest the breakout level briefly or for a couple seconds or a minute. And if it holds, that's a good signal to stay in the position, right? Because what happens is people buy a breakout and then it goes and then it rolls over and crashes on them. Like, oh, right? And that's because when they bought the breakout and the candle comes and rolls back over, hits the breakout level, and it holds and snaps through, they keep holding and it tanks, right? So it's pretty much if you buy a breakout, it goes over the breakout level and then it can hold and respect over the breakout level, then it's a true breakout usually. 858. Which stock would you say that squeezes on? Which stock that advanced trader? Which stock that you said that squeezes on Friday? I'm just assuming that you typed that question kind of all up, but I still understand what you're saying somewhat. I have no idea actually what you're saying. I don't know. Yeah, like stock squeezing on Fridays. I have no idea. During this penny stock season, there aren't ones that look good to trade. What kind of stocks should you put attention towards out of the large caps? Yeah, so it's pretty straightforward. If, when you're going to the penny, pretty much in general, if there's never a penny stock that looks good to trade. So, like, for example, we have TCO. TCCO looks good. Follow this one for a trade today, and then it's pretty much always have penny stocks and large caps, right? I mean, like, that's pretty much just it. Like, don't go golfing. Don't go to the golf course with a driver and a putter. You can't play golf that way. It's not going to work, right? What are you going to do? Hit a driver 200 yards in the fairway, be 300 yards out in a par 5, and then try to crank your driver off the deck, snap your head, and then what? You're hitting a putter off the tee box from the next hole? That ain't going to work. Yeah, so make sure you got some penny stocks in your bag, right? Make sure you got some large caps. Make sure you got some mid caps, Got a whole bag of goodies to play with. Herdy George 93. You've asked the same question. Can you explain price and volume divergence? Thanks. You've asked that question like 6 or 7 times now, and I'd already told you we don't have the time to go over it. Not to be a jerk, but just in case you didn't hear me the first time. I've asked it a couple times, but again, it's just such a long process to go over that question in clarity that we just don't have the time. Oh, somebody asked about CLVS a while ago. I remember that was like the first one. I'll take a look at it real quick. CLVS. Yeah, so CLVS, shot up, then it tanked, and everybody got caught in the big drop. And they're all like, oh. It's like, well, I could have seen that coming from a mile away. But anyways, yeah, so CLVS tanked. it's on a bounce right now. There's really nothing to do. It's just bouncing. I don't know. If you were long and you got caught in this drop, should you hold it? Maybe, I wouldn't have held it. I don't know. I don't even know what to tell you. We're bouncing, right? You have a small resistance right here that if you get over, you're going to have another pop, but that's if you get over. So again, if you're holding up here, you're basically hoping now, and hope's never a good answer. So if you're holding up here and you feel that you're hoping, you should have already closed out the trade. If you were considering buying CLSV, there's really no point in buying it until you see it retest here 11-12 first attempt and see if you can curl up and over. And then you could consider along maybe up towards the 14 mark. So a lot of different possibilities, but I'd have to see kind of exactly how you're referring to that. Now, I hate to say it, but it's 9:01, so I'm going to be heading out here. Again, I think tomorrow or Thursday we'll have the scanners up for you guys, and everything will be kind of ready to go, so you guys can have trade idea scanners up all day long on the stream. Okay, so everybody take care. Have a great day, and then I'll see you guys all tomorrow for another stream. All right, guys, take care. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.